So the stock market, if you are in tech, you're in the NASDAQ, you're crying today. So $1 trillion wiped from the stock market. The NASDAQ down 3%, Nvidia 13%. What time was this? This was at 11 a.m. So it ended up down 18%, I believe, Nvidia. Okay, so why? Why did this happen? So DeepSeek is an app that is out of China that recently had a breakthrough. So what DeepSeek is, from a fundamental standpoint, is an application just like ChatGPT, a language model that you can ask anything, have conversations with, get data, information, and so on. Now, AI is extremely expensive to create, operate, sustain, maintain, and run. I used all the verbs possible there. What I mean is, it costs a lot of money to get the chips, have the factories to store the computers that are running the language model, the AI. What DeepSeek did is they figured out how to do this with 1/5 of the chips and for like 1/10 of the cost. So usually, for instance, they created this language model with, I think it was only 2,000 chips and with $5 million of funding, compared to the tens of thousands of chips and $500 million of funding that like ChatGPT has here. So you might say, okay, so like trickle that back into the stock market and make it all make sense. And the stock market is a game of psychology, right? If you've ever taken a finance course, it's one of the first things they tell you is what is finance? Well, really, when you're talking about trading, you're talking about the art of psychology put into a candlestick, right? You don't have to look at candlesticks. It could be anything. But people say, okay, clearly China has a leg up when it comes to the construction, sustainability, development of artificial intelligence, because they did it for a fraction of the cost with a fraction of the amount of hardware needed here in the United States. Okay, so that's basically why the stock crashes. Now, make it make sense again. You remember Stargate, the project that was announced by Donald Trump mid last week, $500 billion investment into Stargate. You could see why it's needed into the construction and manufacturing of these places that can hold the hardware for AI to operate, right? This isn't just some thing that you type up. Like, this is machinery that needs to be run so the processing can happen.